Okay, so good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. The November 10th, 2021 meeting of the Long Branch City Council will now come to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Here.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
Dr. Vogt?
Here. We'll now recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it
stands
Nation.
one
nation
God.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
for all. I'll now read the mission statement for the City Council. The Long Branch Mayor, City Council, and Administration are committed to cultivating an environment of mutual trust and respect that values the diversity of our community. We strive to enhance the quality of life for all who live here by making Long Branch a desirable place in which to live and prosper. We'll treat all members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. Could we have the certification, Heather?
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper and adequate and electronic notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and the New Jersey Administrative Code, Title 5, Chapter 39, Section 1.5, Notice of Remote Public Meetings as required by law.
Okay, thank you. Reading and approval of previous minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 27th, 2021 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes. So under presentations tonight, in keeping with our theme to celebrate the diversity of our wonderful city, tonight we have Monica Sanchez, who's going to read the resolution that is honoring Native American Heritage Month. And just by way of a little bit of information about Monica, Monica is a resident of Long Branch. She attends Long Branch High School, and she's a junior and quite outstanding. She is a tutor, volunteer tutor for the A-STEP program, so it goes above and beyond in that way in terms of helping other students. And Monica, we totally, appreciate your efforts on that. And Monica also runs on the Long Branch cross-country team. So with that, Monica, if you could read the resolution for us.
City of Long Branch Resolution R25321, a resolution recognizing National American Indian and Alaska Native Heritage Month in the city of Long Branch. Whereas in 1990, President George H.W. Bush declared November to be National American Indian Heritage Month, with subsequent declarations more appropriately entitled Native American Heritage Month, which refers to Indigenous Americans, including both Native Americans and Alaska Native Americans. And whereas there are 574 federally recognized American Indian and Alaska Native tribes and villages, and 4 recognized tribes and 1 reservation within the state of New Jersey. And whereas in the month shared with Veterans Day, we honor Native Americans who have courageously served in our armed forces, acknowledging their vital role in World War I and World War II, and noting that they will continue to serve at a higher rate than any other ethnic group in our country. And whereas is it important that we honor the resilience, love, and strength of these Americans who brought us to the point in our history, and to their leaders who faithfully strive to persevere their cherished traditions. And whereas in 2021, there has been increased recognition and inclusivity of Native people in positions of influence on the federal level, with a record number of 6 Native Americans being elected to Congress. And whereas it is important for us to join the nation in celebrating the contributions that this important segment of our city has made to the development of our country, our shared need to confront prejudice in our communities and work toward a vision of understanding and inclusiveness for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Long Branch hereby declares November 2021 as Native American Heritage Month.
Outstanding, Monica. Outstanding. I have to tell you, we love having you and so many of our students come and read these diversity resolutions. You make us all so proud of the youth in our city. So thank you and excellent job. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. If I could, I want to just pick up on one of the items that Monica read, and that's, of course, Veterans Day being tomorrow. And if I could just read from a resolution that was passed on the federal level. On Veterans Day, we honor our nation's veterans who have given so much to protect our freedoms and the freedom of others around the globe. They protect the highest ideals of our country. And while we can never fully repay the debt we owe these heroes, we will honor their service and provide them with care and the support that they deserve. We also salute and show gratitude to all who ensure our armed forces remain strong, united, and unmatched. Appreciation to all. So Monica, you are welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting if you would like. And with that, I am going to continue with consideration of ordinances, public hearing, and final consideration, of which there are none. And we have the ordinances for introduction. So this is the first reading of ordinance 2221, an ordinance by the City of Long Branch in Monmouth County, New Jersey, regulating the operation of any class of cannabis licensed businesses by amending Chapter 345 of the Code of the City of Long Branch entitled Zoning, and by creating new chapters 104 entitled Cannabis Licensed Businesses and Chapter 307 entitled Establishment of Cannabis Transfer and User Tax in the City of Long Branch. And way back when, one of our callers asked that we do a summary or just a brief explanation of what the ordinances are in language that may be a little bit easier to understand. So the summary of that ordinance is that this ordinance regulates the operation of any class of cannabis licensed businesses by amending Chapter 345 of the Code of the City of Long Branch entitled Zoning, and by creating new chapters 104 entitled Cannabis Licensed Businesses and Chapter 307 entitled Establishment of Cannabis Transfer and User Tax in the City of Long Branch. So I need a motion to introduce on first reading, advertised and posted according to law, and set the public hearing for November 23rd, 2021.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes. So this is the first reading of ordinance 2321, titled Ordinance of the City of Long Branch Approving and Adopting Redevelopment Plan for the Non-Condemnation Redevelopment Area consisting of block 215, lots 3 and 5.01, and a former municipal right-of-way within block 215. The summary is as follows. This ordinance is approving and adopting a redevelopment plan for non-condemnation redevelopment area consisting of the blocks that I previously mentioned, blocks 215, lots 3 and 5.01, and a municipal right-of-way within block 215. I need a motion to introduce on first reading, advertise, and post according to law, and set the public hearing for November 23rd, 2021.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that the public hearing will be December 8th because it has to go before the planning board.
Oh, okay,
Okay?
good. So you'll note that in the minutes, that change.
Yes.
Good, thank you, Heather. So public participation for resolutions and all general comments. I need a motion to open the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
So
So
moved.
move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If any member of the public has any comment to make, please dial *9 on your phone and a representative will call you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When you're called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You'll have 5 minutes to talk and may only speak once. All comments should be addressed to the council president. There will be no cross dialogue during the public portion. After everyone from the public wishing to speak has been heard, any member of the council or the administration may address your comments and questions. While public participation is encouraged and valued, the presiding officer reserves the right to terminate remarks to or by any individual not keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. Will, could you let us know if we have any callers?
Yeah, we've got a couple hands raised. Caller whose phone number ends in 350. Go ahead.
Ernest McNally, 710 Northeast 7th Street, apartment 407, Boynton Beach, Florida. I just found out today I got a couple of firemen from the Monmouth County area as neighbors, a Monmouth Beach police officer, and a lot of people are giving me a rough time down here from up around Asbury and Long Branch, you know? And now I find out they all got places near me in Florida. And they're threatening me. You know, they got guns. A bunch of thugs, you know, thugs from Monmouth. Now they're down in Florida near me. You know what I mean? Is it ever going to end? It's like asking all the articles in the paper and with the prosecutor that every time I talk about sex abuse in Long Branch schools, the city council president cuts me off. You know, you're violating the Open Public Records Act, number 1, which you probably don't even know what it is, by the way. And number 2, when you cut me off reading a Monmouth County prosecutor set of charges against employees and teachers in the Long Branch schools, you're violating the First Amendment right of a citizen in an Open Public Meeting Act, sort of like what you all did to Vince Lepore when you arrested him wrongfully, and all the other lawsuits that are plaguing this city. And now look, Chelsea Avenue, in one of those spider-rented homes, just like the one on Wall Street, you know, always the cover-up. Bring in the prosecutor to cover it up. Yeah, look, they all work for the schools, for the library. What is that family doing dating murderers and having babies with murderers? That's our fault? And then what do you bring in? The worst police department, Asbury, volunteering for the Monmouth prosecutor, causing the riots and the whole thing on Chelsea Avenue. And then you cover it up. You won't tell anybody what's what. And you just keep cutting people off. Frank Kavanaugh, sex crimes, a school employee related to the Booth family or somehow, and a coach. Sexual abuse. The other guy, Bloomberg, whatever his name is, Bloombaum, child pornography, school teacher in Long Branch. How about 284 Van Pelt? The girl stabbed 37 times by another Long Branch student, Long Branch school system. Flagrant drugs, teachers abusing kids, superintendents resigning. And what do, Mayor? You cover everything up. You lie. You tell the it's all safe here. I let my kids walk to school. Yeah, that's why you drive them every day. Who are you kidding? You ought to go move back to New York where you came from. Nothing but you and your brother, look what you've done to that city in 40 years. It's polluted. It's corrupt. The schools are filled with sex and drugs. You want to take credit for that? And now you bring in this other big mouth Gopal with his wife, a troublemaker. Hey, let me tell you something. The prosecutor's not going to keep getting you guys off for all these sex crimes with each other, with your neighbors. You know, look at these cases you're covering up. Methamphetamine producing cops. And what do? You cut people off. You cut people off. Look at a pool, a racist pool you built. You don't think I know? I know people inside that were in those
5
meetings.
minutes.
And my time is up?
Yes.
Will, do we have any more callers?
We've got 3 more hands raised. Caller whose phone number ends in 198. Go ahead.
Requesting 1-minute notification, Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. R262, the Shared Services Agreement for Animal Control Services, SPCA. Requesting the resolution be pulled this evening for a number of reasons. Number 1, there's no bid data in the resolution. Number 2, nothing in this resolution provides any response time data for Long Branch calls from an agency covering a multitude of towns. Number 3, nothing in this resolution provides enforcement data or the results. And number 4, most importantly, the recent reported deaths of animals in the care of this agency, particularly a bison, in which this agency's personnel improperly medically treated without a veterinary medical license, resulting in the passing of that bison. This may very well be leading to criminal charges. It's not going away. The reason stating, request an R262 be pulled this evening for further review. R261, of course not. Concerning amending the redevelopment agreement with Ocean Gate Development, this project has been years in the making through 2 administrations, accompanied by ownership maneuvers. The City Council and Planning Board require the infrastructure improvements. In particular, the Council's Redevelopment Agency required these infrastructure improvements so as to name Ocean Gate as the designated developer. The developers had no problem committing at that time approximately $473,000 to infrastructure improvements, for which the developer's project would directly benefit. The key difference in the wording in the resolution in the amendment to redevelopers agreement, item 1, section 5.1a, drainage and road improvements reads as follows, with strikes. Formally, quote, the redeveloper shall solely be responsible for design, engineering, and construction of course for drainage and road improvements, end quote. Tonight, it reads, quote, the city shall be responsible for the design, engineering, and construction of drainage and road improvements, end quote. Nowhere in this resolution does it state any grant or subsidy relief for the city to pick up a difference in cost. The $473,000 then in construction costs is approximately $1 million in today's construction costs. So right now, tonight, the city will be out approximately $525,000. And who's going to pay for that? The taxpayers. The city professionals, including you, Raynone, get to enhance the Palone professional pay-to-play gravy train fees with this resolution.
Well,
Between the
Mr. Lepore, I'll correct you when you're done, because you have it
$525,000
completely
giveaway
wrong.
by Team Palone. I have the right to talk. I want my time restored. Council President vote, you said no cross dialogue during the public portion. Mr. Raynone is out of order and should be dealt with immediately by being put out of the meeting.
So, Mr. Lepore, continue with your comments. I think it was probably 30 seconds, if you want 30 seconds.
I want the 30 seconds restored, please. Between the $525,000 giveaway by Team Palone, in addition to Team Palone giving the developer tax abatements for 169 plus luxury condos along Ocean Boulevard, the people of this city continue to lose. Ocean Gate should be required to do the work. But then again, with the way Team Palone charades and deflects, what is the real intent of this resolution? In addition to the said benefit to the Palone pay-to-play gravy train fees, was the former public contribution by the developer now being swapped out for a $2 million quid pro quo for the municipal pool in exchange for the tax abatements, thereby leaving the city taxpayers holding the bag for $525,000? And or is this amendment to loosen up $525,000 for the developer so as to assist the developer for costs incurred in
1 minute
repairing the
notification.
municipal pool? In repairing the municipal pool, less than 1 year old with significant cracks. Any defects in the pool within 1 year would have been covered in a performance bond, which never appeared anywhere and wasn't required of the developer by Team Pallone. Another gift by Team Pallone to the developers. In addition to not requiring that performance bond, everything about this resolution proves the incompetence of Team Pallone to the point that Team Pallone is incapable of running government. Next May, no more developer gifts. Next May, no more Team Pallone. Requesting no vote on this resolution.
Council President, do you want me to respond? And by the way, I
Please.
apologize. I just for the record, I don't think it's appropriate that Mr. Lepore can personally attack somebody and they shouldn't be able to at least answer. But would you like me to correct that, those statements?
Please
So
do.
the original developers agreement required the developer to do part of a drainage improvement that is a greater drainage improvement that the city is undertaking. They capped the developers agreement capped the amount of money that the developer would have to spend at $473,000, inclusive of all of the design costs. So the actual money available for construction would have been less than that. At your next council meeting, the city will be awarding a contract for the entire drainage improvement. What we did, because it was more efficient to design the entire drainage improvement at one time rather than have the developer design part of it and the city design part of it, Laura Newman, your city engineer, designed it. It went out to bid and the bid will be awarded at the next council meeting. What we did with this developers agreement is say, instead of you going out and doing some work and us doing the rest of the work by public bid, we merely converted it to a contribution towards that contract. So you'll get that contract at next meeting, and actually the taxpayers will benefit from the improvements being done and the contribution of $473,000. The rest of the math, of course, that Mr. Lepore went through are just simply not true. How it is that 473 became $1 million and then we lost 500,000. I'm really not quite sure, but that's what it is. So, and of course, his comments with regards to the pool are generally out of order, and I don't really know how to comment to that. I don't know if anybody else in the administration wants to comment about a pool that appears to be a pretty substantial success, and at no cost to the taxpayers.
Thank you, Mr. Anon. Any further comments?
Two more hands raised. Caller whose
Thank
phone
you,
number
Will.
ends in 700. Go ahead.
Lynn Stippick, 13 Arthur Avenue, Long Branch. Cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." A perfect example of citizens making a difference is the transformation that is currently happening at Jackson Woods Park. The park is located on Ocean Avenue between Avenel and Atlantic Avenue. After the death of Tom Booth, who carefully watched over the park, Jackson Woods fell upon hard times. The revitalization of the park is now headed by Kathy Buchan and assisted by Nan Simon, two citizens who care enough to make a difference. City Parks Alliance, a national organization, lists keywords city parks make a difference in the community. As a city park, Jackson Woods is on its way to incorporating all of the ways. City parks increase community engagement and reduce crime. Jackson Woods continues to increase community engagement through the opportunities to volunteer it offers. I began volunteering when I saw a cleanup day advertised on the city email blast. And that event, at that event, there were many citizens, Mayor Pallone and Councilman Vieira, who assisted in cleaning a part of the park, which is now a garden. The spot is now the beautiful butterfly garden. A bench was created, built, and painted by a grandfather and granddaughter team from the community. The paver path was installed by Councilman Vieira with the assistance of Monmouth University students who were helping on Big Event Day last spring. I worked with Joe on Saturday, October 23rd, a Big Event Day, and he was proud to have helped with the paver walk and spoke fondly of the experience and working with Councilman Vieira. Having seen the work in progress, a Girl Scout troop approached Ms. Buchan and asked if they could build a garden. With the assistance of some of the regular volunteers, there is now a pretty stone-edged garden. The Girl Scouts donated and hung bird houses in the tree branches above the garden. A rain barrel created at the park during an event sponsored by the city sits at the edge of the garden for easy watering of the plants. Teachers are finding the park a great place to bring their students. An outdoor classroom is being created so classes from the Long Branch district and homeschool classes will be able to sit at tables and work on their lessons. Tables that can withstand the weather are expensive but worth the cost, as they give students the ability to learn about nature in a natural environment. Ms. Buchan has worked very hard to obtain several grants, which are currently being used as on portions of the park, such as the outdoor classroom. The grants have been awarded by Monmouth County, the DOT, and ANJEC. Tremendous help has been provided by the Long Branch Department of Public Works. Ms. Buchan says Stan, Lou, and the crew always go the extra mile in helping Long Branch become all that is meant to be. The Monmouth County Conservancy started a 501c account for Jackson Woods. The donations from the Friends of Jackson Woods and the volunteer workforce are critical in helping the effort to restore the park and add additional features. Please come out and visit the park to see the amazing progress which continues to be made. Dogs are welcome, so take your best friends for a walk. Just remember your poop bags, please. If you can help on the cleanup and gardening days, email rutgersu8@gmail.com. That's rutgersu8@gmail.com to be included on all information concerning Jackson Woods. You will receive information on cleanup days, becoming a friend of Jackson Woods, and other ways to participate in the transformation of this great park. Please also like Jackson Woods on Facebook for up-to-date information and some beautiful pictures of the park. The volunteers are all friendly, so consider participating in the revitalization. Jackson Woods is one of the many places in the city that makes Long Branch so special. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm sorry, I missed your name.
Lynn.
Lynn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recognized your voice, but I forgot your name. Thank you so much for those comments. And will another caller?
We have one hand raised. Caller whose phone number ends in 804. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Sharon Wise, 65 Cedar Avenue. So I was calling about the resolution with the SPCA for shared services. I believe that we should keep our animal control services in-house. I don't think we should be sharing it with the SPCA. And there have been issues with them doing this after hours. I'll be more than happy to sit down with anybody to discuss these issues that are going on. And also, do we get like a monthly report from the SPCA on what the complaints were, or how many animals were picked up? Before I know we had 2 animal control officers, and now we're only down to 1. I really think we should consider maybe hiring a part-time person. The SPCA is trying to take over the whole Monmouth County. They do not have enough people to handle everything that is going on with these towns and animal control. So I really think you guys should table this for now. And Debbie Nagel does an excellent job, and I think she needs some help, and I think we should be able to handle this ourselves. And just one other thing on this whole redevelopment issue. Are these more condos that are going up? Because, God, we have enough condos in this town to begin with. So, I haven't really been paying much attention to what's going on with the city. But I did tonight, so hopefully you'll consider what I said. And I hope you all have a good night. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
No other callers.
Okay, thank you, Will. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comment by electronic mail or written letter?
No comments have been received.
Okay, I need a motion to close the public participation portion of the meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll now ask now ask our clerk if there were any changes to the list of resolutions.
No changes have been made.
Okay, thank you. We can take the list of resolutions as a consent agenda. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes. I need a motion to appoint the following members of the Long Branch Fire Department. Herman Nagar, from the Oceanic Company, and the status is active. Ryan Woods from the West End Company, and the status is active. Ryan Wells from West End, status is active. Nicholas Spataro, West End, honorary status. Douglas Rhodes, West End, status is active. Tyler Enright Rivera, West End, and the status is active. And Justin Quinn, West End, and the status is active. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes, thank you. Okay, miscellaneous business for the good of the order. Councilman Dangler, why don't you start us off?
Thank you. Tonight, I would just like to remind everyone that we'll have a few programs honoring our veterans for Veterans Day. So please come out. I know there's one at 10 o'clock, Jerry Morgan Park. 11 o'clock is the main one at City Hall. Just want to, again, just thank the veterans who have made it their passion and commitment to support this country. And I just want to personally thank all of them and the families who have had sacrifices to give up their mothers, their daughters, their sons, certainly their husbands, to protect the United States of America. Also, the holidays are coming up. Please don't get lax. Don't relax and not keep your mask on when you can. But please always stay safe and have a nice and a warm holiday.
Thank you, Councilman Dangler. Councilman Vieira.
Good night. Good night. Thank you. Thank you for participating in tonight's meeting. I want to thank Monica Sanchez for that Native American resolution. Great job she did. Also want to thank Lynn. She is right that amazing progress has been done at Jackson Woods. You get a chance, take a walk through. It's amazing. You don't feel like you're in Long Branch. It's a beautiful country scenery. You got the birds, you got the deer, you got all the wildlife in there. So get a chance, take a walk through there. And then I like to echo what Councilman Dangler said. What about our veterans? I'd like to thank all our veterans and come out and support our veterans tomorrow. And happy Veterans Day for everybody. Good night.
Good. Thank you, Councilman Vieira. Councilwoman Wittes.
Hi, good evening. I too would like to thank all of our veterans for serving and protecting us. And Monica, if you're listening, you did a wonderful job. And thank you for participating in our meeting tonight. And I just would like to wish everyone, happy holiday coming up. And we hope that, we've had 2 beautiful days, and we hope everyone who was able to get out and enjoy some of it. And thank you to those who participated in tonight's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Wittes. Councilwoman Selly.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. You've heard my colleagues mention it. At 10 o'clock, there'll be a service at Jerry Morgan Park. And at 11 o'clock, there'll be the service and the raising and taking down the flag at 11 o'clock. So I would encourage you to come. It's quite a spectacular thing to see the flag go up and down. Anyway, I would like also to say thank you to all my other veterans, and particularly to the Vietnam vets. And with that, please wear your mask, stay safe, and thank you and good night.
Good. Thank you, Dr. Selly. Mayor Pallone.
Thank you, Council President. I'd also like to thank Monica for her reading today, Lynn for all the nice things you said about Jackson Woods. It really is a beautiful park. And, it's the volunteers and the groups that have made that happen. It's really transformational there. So thank you. We met with Kathy last week, as a matter of fact. And so we're going to have an old-fashioned country afternoon. That's the tentative plan at this point in April, just to introduce the park to people who haven't been there. A lot of the council members have mentioned Veterans Day tomorrow. I'll just repeat, 10 o'clock at Jerry Morgan, 11 o'clock services at City Hall. We're also going to continue with the tradition of the bell ringing that we started in 2018 which was the 100th anniversary of the end of World War II. So we continue that celebration tomorrow as well at 11. And then there's also noon refreshments at the VFW post at 255 Willow Avenue. That's right after the event at City Hall. This Friday, I'd like to let everybody know that we'll be having an opening reception for Long Branch Everyday Heroes by Andrea Fox at our Arts and Cultural Center. The reception is from 7 to 9 p.m. On Friday, and the exhibit will run until December 3rd. 2022 seasonal beach badges are here and on sale. They're $40 for adults and $25 for students. Cash accepted at both Recreation and the Tax Collector's Office, and credit cards are accepted at the Recreation Office. We have a lot of holiday things planned that are coming up. The first, I believe, is the 28th, the tree lighting at Pier Village. That's from 4 to 6 p.m. That will be followed by our menorah lighting on December 1st at West End Park, also at 6 p.m. And then another holiday tree lighting, a traditional tree lighting that we have on December 4th at 5 p.m. at City Hall. All these events are free and fun for the whole family. And finally, I'd just like to say we're going to have a new event at the, or several, I think, events at the Arts Center, but we're having a holiday and arts event at our Arts and Cultural Center on December 11th from 1 to 5 p.m. That's at 577 Broadway, the old Bank of America at the corner of Branchport and Broadway. We're going to be having holiday performers, student art contests and exhibit, Santa, crafters, hot chocolate, and more. We're actually going to be closing down the Broadway for the afternoon between Branchport and Norwood on Broadway. So that's going to be an exciting event. It's going to be both inside and outside. So please join us for that. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today, and have a great week, and hope we'll see you tomorrow at Veterans Day.
Good. Thank you, Mayor Pallone. So at the risk of being repetitive here, even though we're saying several of us are noting the same things, they're just wonderfully important things for Long Branch. Lynn, Margaret Mead's quote that you started off with is one of my favorite quotes, and everything that you said about Jackson Woods and Kathy and the whole group of volunteers and Councilman Vieira. Just amazing work has been done and continues to be done to transform that beautiful space there. So thank you so much for kind of representing the community's appreciation for all that work. Certainly in recognizing our veterans, I want to recognize the efforts of Councilwoman Wittes, who of course has joined all of us in recognizing and respecting our veterans and taking it another step further in starting what will soon be our Hometown Heroes campaign, where people can actually nominate different veterans to be honored. More details to follow. The Councilwoman is doing quite a bit of background work on that, and we look forward to having that as an added feature to the way Long Branch shows respect and appreciation for all of our veterans. And let me encourage you one more time to check our website for this is the acronym ERAP. It stands for Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Anyone listening who knows someone who may be having problems being able to pay the rent related to COVID issues, there is funding available to help you with rent assistance, emergency rent assistance if it's related to COVID. So please check the website and we'll be getting out more and more information on those available funds. I want to recognize Councilman Dangler having done some outreach to the NAACP and a few other groups in terms of making sure that we get the word out. And certainly the mayor is working hard with a number of groups to make sure that people know about the availability of those funds. And last, just a thank you to the Green Team. We are encouraging all of our boards and commissions to send the council minutes from their meetings. And the Green Team sent us their minutes from their last meeting. And so we want to bring attention to one of the campaigns that they have going on, which is a sneaker campaign, which if you have, sneakers that still have some good life in them and you're not using them, please donate them, because the Green Team will make sure that those sneakers get to people in need. One of the drop-off places is the library. And I believe that there's probably an announcement in our e-blast that gives you more information about that. They are donating the proceeds from the campaign and just doing some really wonderful things in terms of trying to reach people in need and serve people in need. So our hats off and our appreciation to all the work of the Green Team. And with that, I will repeat that we hope to see as many people as can make it to the Veterans Services tomorrow, starting at 10, Jerry Morgan Park, and at 11 o'clock in front of City Hall. And with that, my thanks also for joining us tonight. And I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move. A second.
All in favor? All in favor? Good, thank you. Good, thank you, everybody, and have a good evening.